What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. It is Tuesday, December 16th. Tonight is the NBA Cup Championship between the Knicks and the Spurs. My name is TJ, and in today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys the best plays over on PrizePicks. Now, in order to find the best plays over on PrizePicks for tonight, we're going to need a little help. But before we jump into actually going over these plays, if you guys are here from the YouTube shorts that I've been posting on this channel, first off, hello. Yesterday, we ended up going 4 for 5. 2 times our money over on PrizePicks. It was a Josh Okogie legacy night. I obviously posted a 6 flex. We were trying to 25 times our money, but Tyler Hero got ruled out. But anyways, really good plays. So close to going 5 for 5 and 10 times our money. But that's what you guys are going to get over on this channel. And going forward, I'll be posting these longer form player prop PrizePicks dedicated videos, and I'll continue to pump out those YouTube short videos as well. So if you are new, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Turn on that notification bell so whenever I do post content, you get notified first. You can get these plays locked in before they get bumped or removed. And then if you could, please hit that like button. Really helps out the channel. And let's go ahead and jump into these PrizePicks plays for tonight's NBA Cup. All right, guys, so again, NBA Cup Championship tonight. We have the Knicks and the Spurs. They're playing out in Vegas. We have a 2.5-point spread, so the Knicks are slightly favored. Again, 2.5-point favorites, minus 138 on the money line, so the San Antonio Spurs are the dogs tonight, but it should be a close and competitive matchup. Now, if we go ahead and take a look at the injury report, Spurs, no one injured, nobody out. Victor Wembanyama came back on Saturday against the Thunder. First time he'd played in just about a month. Played 21 minutes off the bench. So I would assume they continue to roll with what's working. Have Wemby come in off the bench again. He'll obviously be on a minutes limit tonight against the Knicks. And then for the Knicks, Deuce McBride is out again. This is his 3rd game that he will be missing. So that just means more minutes for those guards, being Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart. Landry Shamet also out for the Knicks. So in terms of injuries, nothing really significant. I would say Deuce McBride obviously plays anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes, more so that 22 to 26 minute pocket. So that is pretty significant. But again, that just means your Jalen Brunsons, your Josh Harts, Jordan Clarkson getting a little bit more time off the bench. But Brunson and Hart probably both going to play 40-plus minutes tonight as long as this game is competitive. And it does look to be that way, right? Only a 2.5-point spread. So this should be a really good matchup tonight between the Knicks and the Spurs. So let's go ahead and now pull up the PrizePicks board and see what we have over here for value. So for anybody new here, I do want to talk about PrizePicks and how they are a fixed payout platform. So what that means is that it doesn't matter if we're taking more or less on any of these player projections on PrizePicks, as long as we're not taking demons or goblins or positively correlating out the ass. In most cases, 95% of our cases, our payout always remains the same. And what do I mean by that? So if I take Victor Wembanyama over 21.5 points and Jalen Brunson over 30.5 points, you guys will see that I am getting a 3 times payout. Now, if I take Jalen Brunson and I change his more to less, I'm still getting a 3 times payout. If I take Victor Wembanyama and I change his points from more to less, I'm still getting a 3 times payout. And that's because PrizePicks operates as a fixed payout platform. It doesn't actually matter what we're taking with our more or less props. The only thing that actually changes our payout are the amount of player props we're adding inside our slips. Now, we all know, or if you're new, but if you play on PrizePicks all the time, you know that you can take anywhere from 2 to 6 legs inside your slip. And again, depending on how many player props you're putting in our slips is the payout that we're going to be getting from that specific slip type. So a lot of people love just running these 2-man powers, but I have news for you. 2-man powers are one of the worst mathematical slip types that you can play on PrizePicks. Yes, they hit more than your 5 and 6 flex slips, but when you do the math on the back end, and you can do the math on the back end because we actually know the implied odds for each individual leg, PrizePicks doesn't show you what the actual odds are for these player props, but when you can actually do the math for each slip, depending on how many player props are in your slip, and you know the payout that you're getting, you can figure out the implied odds for each of these individual player props. And mathematically, you're looking for anything that is minus 137 odds or better inside a 2-man power on PrizePicks to be profitable in the long run. So that's why I'm always posting 6 flex slips, because those are mathematically the best slip types. Now, I understand it's tougher to hit 6 legs than it is to hit 2, but if you're playing those over time and you're finding plays where you're getting an edge long-term on PrizePicks, that's how you profit. That is how you can make the most money possible playing on a fixed payout platform like PrizePicks. So one tool that I use to find all of my plays to make sure I'm getting the best bang for my buck is the Upside plus EV Props Optimizer. And the whole purpose of the plus EV Props Optimizer is to compare sportsbook lines and odds directly back to various DFS apps and sportsbooks like PrizePicks to help you find the most profitable plays in real time. So a really good example right now is Josh Hart under 5.5 assists. And this is going to be the best play in our slip in the player prop that we're starting with right now. We can see we're looking at a 54.4% chance for Josh Hart to go under 5.5 assists, and that is based on the sportsbooks odds and the lines that they are setting for this player prop. We can see that FanDuel has this set to minus 146 odds on the under. That is significant juice on the under, meaning that FanDuel is setting their line saying it is more likely that Josh Hart goes under 5.5 assists than it is for him to go over 5.5 assists. Now, on the flip side, if you're sitting there and you think there's no way Josh Hart doesn't get 5.5 assists or less than that, he's definitely getting 6 or 7. What the thing that the kids do, 6, 7. Oh God, I can't believe I did that. I'm not going to cut that out either. If you wanted to play Josh Hart over assist, you would be an idiot to take this over on PrizePicks. You should be playing this on one of these sports books because you're going to be able to get it at plus money. So hopefully all of that makes sense, but we're looking for anything north of 54.2% when you're building out 5 and 6 flex slips on PrizePicks. Minus 146 odds is what FanDuel is giving this under. So that play is absolutely crazy. That's what we're going to start our slip off with. So I'm going to remove the example here that we have with Wemby and Brunson. We're going to search Josh Hart, and we are going to lock in his under 5.5 assists. Now, a lot of people like to look at the last 5 game logs and stuff like that. It has nothing to do with the match at hand. The sports books and their $1 million models that they are using to come up with their lines and odds take into consideration injuries, minute restrictions, rotations, matchups, everything under the sun that you can possibly think of with fundamental analysis is baked into these sportsbook lines and odds. So let them do all the heavy lifting for you. And a tool like the Plus EV Props Optimizer here at Upside Tools shows you these plays in real time. This thing refreshes all the time. All you have to do is hit this refresh button, or you can turn on the live feature. But we are always showing our users the best plays and the most profitable plays that they should be playing on a fixed payout platform. So again, we have Josh Hart under 5.5 assists. Really, really, really good play here. Let's bring the props optimizer back up and see what else we can find for value. Now, I just want to keep this for the cup game for tonight. So what I want to do actually is change right here my date filter, this drop down. I want to change it from any to just today. So now this is just going to populate player props from tonight's NBA championship game. We have Josh Hart under assists. Now, what else can we add here? We definitely want to add in Cat over rebounds. Minus 138 on FanDuel, minus 131 on DraftKings. Really good value here, specifically to these sharper sports books being FanDuel and DraftKings, especially when it comes to setting their lines and odds for player props. So we're going to add in Cat over rebounds of 10.5. And let's keep going. Stephon Castle over 10.5 rebounds plus assists. Again, minus 120 on FanDuel. FanDuel typically the sharpest when it comes to setting player prop markets. So we'll go ahead and throw that in as well. And I'll talk about why I'm skipping over some of these plays above. So Castle over 10.5 rebounds plus assists. So we have 3 legs right now. Let's try to build out a 5 or 6 flex slip. Mitchell Robinson over points and rebounds. I'm not going to play that, seeing as I'd rather take Cat here. And then Champagny under rebounds plus assists. One thing here, we only have one sportsbook that's actually giving us data here that we're comparing this to. So I typically like to have filters on and change this to either 2 or 3. So that means only player props where we're getting at least 3 books that are supporting those odds will populate to the tool. More book support means that play is more solidified, right? So we have Josh Hart, we have Cat, we have Stephon Castle. We're going to skip over Jalen Brunson under assists. We don't want to have Brunson under assists with Josh Hart under assists. One of those guards has to go get assists, and what we're hoping for here with Hart is that that Brunson is getting more assists. We do have Jalen Brunson under PRA. He's set to 1 lower on FanDuel at 39.5, 1 lower on DraftKings at 39.5, Sleeper, Fliff, Fanatics, Better, Pick 6, all have this actually 1 lower at 39.5. So we're going to actually add in Jalen Brunson under 39.5 PRA. Of course, he's favored, or excuse me, he's a fire play, so he's a popular play, and my assumption is he's hitting his last 3 of 5. Okay, I don't care about that. I'm trusting the math. I'm trusting the data. So we added in Brunson here. Dylan Harper over points plus assists we don't want to take because we have Castle. I'd love a Wemby play, or maybe even a Mikal Bridges over points of 14.5. Not bad. Minus 128 on FanDuel, minus 127 on DraftKings. Again, we're looking for anything north of minus 119 odds. Let's give this a quick refresh and see if anything else has popped up. We still have our Hart play. We have Cat. We have Castle. We have Brunson under PRA. I think I'm going to keep this a 5 flex. So we're going to look for one more play here. And I think what we're going to go with is, you know what? I've made up my mind. We're actually going to take this Mitchell Robinson over 9.5 points plus rebounds. There's a world in which Mitchell Robinson can get 9.5 points plus rebounds and Cat can go under his PRA. So we're going to take Mitchell Robinson over 9.5 points plus rebounds. You're probably going to need a little more Mitchell Robinson as well, seeing as Wembanyama. So that's somebody that they'll for sure need. So yeah, that's going to be a 5 flex, guys. It really is as simple as that. Utilizing a tool like the Plus EV Props Optimizer here at Upside, it will show you the best value in real time. You don't have to worry about making gut decisions. You can trust the math, trust the data, let that guide you when it comes to building out your profitable slips on PrizePicks. So we just went down the list. We found literally the best player props in real time. We took Josh Hart under 5.5 assists, Karl Anthony Towns over 10.5 rebounds, Stephon Castle over 10.5 rebounds plus assists. Jalen Brunson, wow, Brunson got bumped. So this is a perfect example. You guys can see in real time, Jalen Brunson's PRA just got bumped from 40.5 to 39.5. And why did that happen? So we talked about it. Jalen Brunson's PRA was set to 40.5 on PrizePicks, but we could see a lot of these sharper sports books had this one lower at 39.5. So FanDuel was set to one lower at 39.5. So was DraftKings, so was Caesars, so was Hard Rock, so was Sleeper, so was Fliff, so was Fanatics, so was Better, so was DK Pick 6. So all of these different sports books and DFS apps are all set one lower at 39.5. So PrizePicks knew that they were off with their projection. They readjusted. We saw that in real time that Brunson got bumped down from 40.5 to 39.5. So now that value is gone. I don't want to take Brunson under 39.5 PRA anymore. So we actually need one more replacement play. And I'm actually glad that that happened in real time. Again, the odds actually got better. That should get removed here off of our board very soon. But yeah, Brunson's out. We can actually take him under rebounds plus assists if we want to. That's not the worst play. He can go get 9 assists, no rebounds, and everything can make sense for us. So there we go, guys. We found a replacement for the Brunson under PRA. We're going to be taking his under rebounds plus assists. So the new 5 flex is going to be Josh Hart under 5.5 assists, Cat over 10.5 rebounds, Castle over 10.5 rebounds plus assists, Mitchell Robinson over 10.5 points plus rebounds, and Jalen Brunson under 9.5 rebounds plus assists. Hopefully you guys followed along through all that, but that's the process. A lot of plays get bumped and removed. That's why I always say, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and turn on that notification bell, because when I post this in probably 10 minutes, my hopes are that you guys can get this 5 flex slip locked in and none of these plays get bumped or removed. Because if plays get bumped or removed, you don't want to play them, right? That value is now gone. So hopefully you guys followed along. Hopefully you guys stuck it out till the end. And again, if you are new, if you could hit that subscribe button, I would greatly appreciate it. And if you like this content, hit that like button. More videos to come in the future, guys. I appreciate you sticking it out with me. Hopefully you enjoy tonight's NBA Cup Championship. Hopefully you have a profitable one. I'll catch you on the next one. I love you guys.